Video number 7 in the 100 lesson jazz series. Another thing we got to cover is going to be another short one. I get asked this, man, I wish I had $1 for every time somebody asked me this. And actually, I started making a joke. When they asked me this, I would refuse to answer it and say, I'm sorry, I got to charge you $10 for the answer. What? They laugh. The question is, what's the difference between a violin and fiddle? We got to get down to the basics here, right? What is the difference between a violin and fiddle? You don't know? You think you know? And I've heard so many answers from so many different people. The big fat answer is nothing. There is no difference between a violin and a fiddle. Now, historically, way back, someone could argue this was a family of fiddles, and then there was a family of viols, and they kind of morphed at one point. Yes, in the 1500s or before that, there was some difference. Today, there is no difference, and fiddle is just slang for a violin. All right, the viol family. There's a violin, there's a viola, there's a violoncello, there's a bass viol. Those are the 4 instruments that are surviving. There used to be about 10 members of that family back in Bach's day. But that's what we're talking about today. There's no difference between violin and fiddle. Even my main teacher when I was a young teen studying classical music very, very seriously, Dennis P. Warski, plays in the National Symphony. Hey, Dennis, if you're listening to this. He influenced me greatly. He was a rebel and a jazzer in heart, I think. Anyways, himself, even though he's technically marvelous, man, that guy can play just anything. It's stuff that I didn't even think about playing. Anyways, that's another subject, but even he would call his, I think he's got a Guarneri, which is worth how many millions today. He would call it a fiddle. Get your fiddle out, He'd say it's fiddle. It was just an affectionate term. And of course, the bluegrass people call it fiddle only. They don't call it the violin. There's some people think, there's a joke. The difference between a violin and fiddle is the violin has strings and the fiddle has strangs. It's a pretty stupid joke. So you can call it whatever the heck you want. Fiddle tends to be more affectionate, more fun, more slang-oriented. And violin a little more serious-oriented, I guess, in culture. It doesn't matter to me. Jazz violin, jazz fiddle, doesn't matter. So it's all the same. Now you can charge $10 to anybody who asks you that question. Give me a royalty.